Hari Om. Today I'm going to speak on chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. If you look at the overview of this chapter, it's considered extremely important chapter as it is concluding the discussion that Sri Krishna has started from chapter 2 onwards. Of course, in between chapter 10, 11, Sri Krishna has talked about the cosmic form of the divine consciousness, the Paramatma. But the discussion with Arjuna is about Arjuna's problems. That is problems of human mind. That is problems related to human life. And then when it concerns human life, the immediate connection is the nature around. So naturally this discussion, although it has deviated to the other dimensions, Sri Krishna is again focusing back on human life and the connections to human life. And this is the same chapter 15, where Sri Krishna is compiling everything and making into one big picture of how the human life is all about, what the human life is all about. So he is talking about birth in this chapter, birth of a human life. He is talking about death of the life. He is talking about what is before the birth. He is talking what is after the birth. And he is talking about what is beyond this life and birth. That birth and death, beyond the birth and death aspect. He has also talked about para and apara prakriti, the manifested nature and the energy that keeps all these objects together, the cosmic energy. So he's bringing those para and apara prakriti here again, and he's highlighting the real nature of the divine consciousness, the state of Purusha, the state of consciousness, which is beyond all of these, the dimension of moksha. So this is the subject of chapter 15. Another interesting theme that Sri Krishna is highlighting in this chapter is he's showing the temporary nature of our life that we understand as our life. Its momentary nature is being highlighted here. Sri Krishna has used a metaphor of Ashwatha Vriksha. Ashwatha is the pimple in Sanskrit, or Bodhi tree, the tree under which Buddha got enlightened. That tree is the example used here to represent the whole of our life that is around us. Me, my family, the mother nature around, my society, the different animals, the different plants, whatever is there on Mother Earth is all represented symbolically by this tree. And it's very interesting that he's showing the nature of this tree. He says, Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam Ashwattham Prahuravyayam. He says this tree, Ashwatha tree, the Bodhi tree, is a very interesting tree. The root is up. That is the Paramatma. So it's opposite. It's not from the ground up, but it's from top, because the root is at the top. What is the root? Understand, where does the root come from? The root comes from a very, very, very small, tiny seed. The Big Bang happened with a very tiny, 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 tiny particle. So that Paramatma, the very tiny seed, has actually gave birth to this tree. So the root is up and the trunk is going down and the branches are there to this tree. And what are these branches? Branches are Veda, different dimensions of creation, different knowledge, wisdom. The gunas, the sattva, raja and tama gunas, they have created this tree, and the tree is growing in all directions. There are different leaves on this tree. And it's so vast and so huge. There is no end to this tree. If you see this nature of this tree, it's Maya. The Trigunatmak Maya. We think it's there, but it's not there. Look at the nature of this tree. Every moment there are new leaves. The old leaves are falling off and the new leaves coming. So every moment the tree is changing. The word Ashwatha, the tree, the Bodhi tree, the Ashwatha is a Sanskrit word for that tree. Ashwatha means the one that is not same tomorrow. The one that is continuously changing. And that is that nature of this Maya. And it is born out of these three gunas. But along with these three gunas, this Maya has given rise to 5 subjects that are perceivable to our sensory organs. The shape, what we can see. The sound, what we can hear. The form that we can see. All our sensory organs, subjects, are created out of these 3 gunas. So this tree is the Maya. That Maya is born out of 3 gunas, 3 qualities, Sattva, Raja, Tama, and the 5 subjects. The word, touch, form, smell, and taste. Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, and Gandha, the 5 sensory organs. And that has created this tree. And this tree is not real. One of the very interesting examples given by this sage Santa Jnaneshwar in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, very beautiful. He's saying it's like a dream. The real is Paramatma, Parabrahma, the seed. What you see is this huge tree where there is no birth, there is no starting of the tree, there is no end of the tree, and there is no middle because it's just so infinite. It's just everywhere. But this is all like an illusion because the truth is that seed. How he's described this illusion? It's like you're sleeping, and in the sleep you have a dream, and the dream you start seeing, oh, you have become a prince of a kingdom. And then in the dream you see you are winning these battles. Oh, you are victorious. Everyone is praising you. Oh, everyone is giving you respect. In the dream, your kingdom is expanding. In the dream, your relationships are formed. In the dream, everything is happening. Then you then that prince finds a relation. He has a queen. He gets married. Then he has kids. There's love. Something happens. He's crying. Then he becomes even bigger emperor, very powerful emperor. Then he commands more respect. He has more wealth. Becomes very powerful. Everything is happening in dream. And some king defeats him. Everyone is killed in his kingdom. So he's crying. All his beloved people killed. And then he decides to fight back. This is all in dream. And he decides to fight back. Makes a lot of efforts. Again gathers his army, everything, collects money to fight the war and all that. And he's about to win everything. Someone wakes him up from the dream. He's complaining, what happened to my kingdom? What happened to my wife? Why did you wake me up? It's so beautiful. I lost my kids. I lost my wife. I lost my kingdom. I lost my wealth. Oh, why did you do that? This is exactly what this tree is about. The Maya, the illusion, the unreal. And this is the subject in the first 3 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Now, because of this Maya, because of this illusion that is created by these 3 gunas and the sensory subjects related to sensory organs, it creates motivation to karmas. And then there is a karma phala, the fruit of the action, fruit of the karma, and the fruit of the karma gives rise to new karma. So we get stuck in that cycle of karmas. But where it is connected? It's connected with these three gunas and the sensory organs. And because of this, the tree that actually has roots up on the top also develops some branches, they go down on the earth, and that also becomes like a root. Adarsha moolan anusantutani. The next verse he says, these karmas, because of the maya, because of the three gunas, puts its roots down also. And these roots are what results in rebirth. This is karma bandha. These are the attachments that we create in our life, and these attachments keep us in this life of, in this cycle of birth and death. The subject is how to get rid of this, because this is unreal. There is no end to it. I have this desire to become, so I keep working. This desire is connected with three gunas and the sensory objects. There is no end to it. I get $1 million, now I want $10 million. When I get $10 million, I want $100 million. There is no end. I have this land, I want more land. I have more land, I even want more land. There is no end to these desires. There is one story of, I think, Leo Tolstoy, is about a man is given an opportunity, says how much you can run in a day, that quantity of land will belong to you. And the story is very beautiful. Says the man runs, comes back. When he comes back, he's so tired, he died there. This is exactly how our life is. We try so hard to earn the wealth, earn the money. And while earning the money, we don't value other things. And when we have the money, then we realize money can't really get me a good relationship. Money can't get me a good friendship. Money can't buy me a peace of mind. Money can't buy me health. Money can't buy me mental health, physical health. Money can't even buy me good food. It's a very interesting journey, which is exactly what's highlighted here. And Sri Krishna says to Arjuna that, but you can get rid of it. You can get rid of this tree. You can get rid of this illusion. You can cut your attachments. And the secret he told here is asanga shastrena drudena chitva. Asanga, vairagya, non-attachment. And I have discussed quite a bit on vairagya and non-attachment. Absolute non-attachment with the sensory organs and sensory objects, and gunatita, trying to go beyond the gunas, the influence of the gunas. So vairagya is the most important quality that Sri Krishna has highlighted here. And with that quality, you can easily cut that tree and get out of that. Once you cut the tree, where do you go? You go to your root. And what is the root? The root is the seed of the tree, the Paramatma. But it's not as easy. Following this vairagya is not easy. Sri Krishna clarifies the process a bit more. He says that, because Arjuna has a question. Arjuna says that, who created the tree? Where does these gunas come from? Where do these sensory organs come from? And where does this human life come from? And it all comes from Paramatma. All comes from Parabrahma. All comes from divine. Maya is not something we invented, we discovered. It was created, or it happened because of the Paramatma himself or herself. So Sri Krishna is clarifying these doubts in Arjuna's mind, and he says, yes, you're right. The Purusha, the Jiva, the Atma, in every life, Bhuta, every life, whether it's tree, whether it's human being, whether it's animal, is nothing but a small part of divine. What it does there, when it comes in contact with these three gunas, it creates attachment with mind and five sensory organs, and through the help of mind and five sensory organs, it gets the form. That's what we call as body. The physical body that we have, there is a Jivatma, there is a divine Purusha inside. When a person dies, when a human life ends, this same Jivatma takes the mind and the sensory desires along with it. So it's kind of the mind and sensory organs are wrapping this divine Atma, and then it moves on to the next life. Now here Sri Krishna is highlighting two different forms of Purusha, forms of consciousness. One he calls as Kshara Purush, and another one he calls as Akshara Purush. Kshara and Akshara Purusha, consciousness, the Atma. The Jivatma has two forms. Kshara Purusha, the one that die, is also form. There is an end to it. The life that you live, I am aware of my life, so this is Jivatma. But there is an end to this life. More precisely, if you say, it's a form. So there is a change of form. First is Kshara form, the one that is right now in my life. When I die, that Kshara Purusha is going to be transformed. And it's going to go in the next form, which is called Akshara Purusha. So this Akshara Purusha goes into seed form, but that seed that is carrying the mind and sensory organ subjects. So in my life, I try and experience the world around me. I enjoy my sensory organs, sensory desires and sensory pleasures. My mind and my sensory organ related desires, and that is my personality. That personality wraps this Atma, and then it becomes seed form. And from that seed form, I go to next birth. So Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha is one after another. And this is connected with Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. Apara Prakriti is what I talked about as the manifested nature. My body right now, this is Apara Prakriti. So the Purusha that is inside, the Kshara Purusha, is connected with Apara Prakriti. But when I die, that Purusha becomes Akshara Purusha, he becomes into seed form. And that seed form is connected with Para Prakriti. But beyond these two, there is a third dimension, and that is Purushottama or Paramatma or Adibija, or that seed of that Ashwatha tree, the Bodhi tree. So Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna that don't get confused with these two, Kshara and Akshara. Don't think that that's your destiny. Your destiny is to reach the Purushottama. Your destiny is to cut this tree of Maya, the illusion, and reach to the source where you come from, where there is nothing that can reach. There is no coming back into this birth and death cycle, into this cycle of karmas, into this cycle which is bound by these gunas. where there is no end. And that state he is calling Purushottama, Uttama Purusha. Uttama is the highest, best form of consciousness, Purusha. So this is the subject of chapter 15, and I think it summarizes the life journey as such, and what is the purpose in a way, and what is the direction. So I'm going to stop here. Hari Om.